Okay, welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Go Blue Stew. Might as well be Go Blue Stew and Ant lately. I got Ant to talk. We just watched the end of the St. John's Villanova game. Ant, why are college kids so dumb when it comes to fouling players? It's so annoying. Like, I know it's annoying when we got taught, like, stand straight up, don't swipe. But, like, that's why, because then you foul with 2 seconds left and a guy who's definitely not hitting that tough shot.
All you gotta do is keep your hands up.
Just keep your hands up.
If he hits it, whatever, right?
I just don't get it, man.
Don't understand it, man. Do not.
No, I appreciate it. That makes me appreciate, like, all the hours of practice, so I was never put in that situation and looked like an idiot. It's all to make you not look like a fool. In the
Right.
end, if you looked at it like that, it'd be way better. All right, so today, well, we're recording this on Thursday. Today, I'm in the middle of training for my job, and I have your stream up on my phone while we're supposed to be doing illustrations of something on my computer. I also got it up on the phone and watching it. So I didn't get to watch a whole bunch, but I kind of witnessed the collapse at the end. I mean, this is too broad of a question, but, like, they were in control the whole game. What happened at the end?
Yeah, man. It was to keep it kind of simple, it was Devontae tweaked his ankle. Like, they were in full control, and Devontae kind of tweaked his ankle, and he came out, right? Up 17 with like 12 minutes and some change left. He came out. Indiana immediately goes on a 7-0 run that spanned 1 minute. Like, literally, like 1 minute. And that gets it to 10. They get him back in the game. I don't think his ankle's right, because he has 3 big turnovers over the next, like, 3 minutes, where, like, he just, like, him and the ball were, like, not on the same page.
Yeah.
And that didn't help.
Yeah.
Also, it didn't help that, they did not make a field goal for, I believe, 10 or 11 minutes. They didn't hit a field goal until Devontae's little runner for 2 and Eli's 3. Those were the only 2 field goals in the last 13 minutes of that game for them.
I mean, that's like an anomaly. I mean, I know they're a hot and cold, Jekyll and Hyde type team, but, like, that's just different. That just doesn't happen.
You know what, though? Like, their execution, as soon as Devontae, that thing happened, their execution went, like, non-existent. So they couldn't execute the offense. Then on top of that, Devontae couldn't do what he does. And then on top of that, they took away Hunter. And so every attempt from then on was just a catastrophe or a turnover, either or.
They were not. I mean, what were they doing? Double teaming?
No, like, so they were getting after Devontae pretty good. So they had, like, Brooks and Houston coming off of screens and handoffs and all that, but, like, those guys, that's not they've been playing off of Devontae for a while now, and that's been working. But Devontae really couldn't move, and it was just bad. And they didn't trust Frankie in that spot, and I saw people talk about, hey, Kobe didn't play at all when he did this and he did that, and I'm like, they were up 17 without Kobe.
Yeah.
That whole Kobe, that's like micro analyzing. Like, what happened was Indiana's energy went through the roof, right? And like we kind of have to go back to, like, JB. Whenever a team was all hyped up with energy and all that, we'd like use that against them.
Yeah.
And someone was always open because you cut hard, you backdoor cut. We like raised the defense up because they're like rabid dogs at that point. You use that energy and you flip it, right? You flip it on them, and then you get a couple easy buckets. Now they have to calm down. Now they're no longer in your face. Now we can get back to executing, right?
Yeah.
But that never happened. They literally, they kind of crapped themselves. I didn't feel like anybody wanted the ball. every time Hunter got the ball, like they sent three. They sent three, and they were getting deflections, and the ball was going all over the place, and guys were shook. Contested runners, like it was very very ugly. It was very very ugly.
It's
Like
weird.
they
I mean,
got that lead. That lead disappeared.
I mean, it was quick.
Quick.
I mean, I'm literally like looking at my computer, glancing over, and it's like every glance was 2 points. 2 points again. 2 points in favor of IU. And
Up
I was
12,
like, what?
Up 10, up
Yeah.
8,
Yeah.
up 7,
Yeah.
up 4, down 3, down 7, down right? It's just unbelievable. Like as soon as they went on that 7-0 run, I was like, how much time is left? Right? Because it's like, yo, get this game over with. Like, you don't care about how much you win by, just win by 1, and then move on to the next game. But I was like, yo, this is gonna be the slowest like 9 minutes and 30 seconds of their entire lives. And I'm sure it was, because that game never ended.
No, yeah, it's still going on for them. I mean, are they in? They're in.
Yeah.
I mean, right now they're 33rd in KenPom, which you can take that for a grain of salt if you want, but people like them, and I think that the powers that be like them.
Yeah, and people are going to be like, you don't deserve it. I'm like, well, they do, right? You get credit for beating Purdue. You get credit for beating on the road at Iowa. That looks better and better every single game.
Yeah.
Like you get credit for going to
At
Ohio
Iowa
State and
State.
beating them
Right.
without Hunter. Like you get credit for going to Indiana and beating them by 18 points. You get credit for that, right? And the world's not falling and the sky isn't falling because you lose by 2 possessions on a neutral in Indiana. Like no. They're going to get what they deserve. And if that's an NIT berth, it's an NIT berth. If you're an 11th seed in the NCAA, that's what they deserve. That's kind of where my mind is at. They're going to deserve whatever they get. If they get to the NCAA, they're there because those wins don't disappear, and their worst loss is like 112th on the net, and the second worst loss is like top 100 still. They took care of business against the teams that they should have. Now, if they go in the NIT, I'm like, well, they're there because, they lost to Minnesota. They didn't close out Seton Hall.
Yeah.
They weren't able to close out UCF on the road, right? So, like, those are games that, they want back. But you can see the reasoning why they would not make it. But you look around the country, it's a very weak bubble. This is the weakest bubble that I've seen in a very long time. You have Xavier losing to a bear. We've got friends on the Butler team, like Will Vergolo and all them. They take out Xavier, and Butler's not very good this year.
Yeah.
You have a situation where Wake Forest loses to Boston College. Boston College is 13-19 or 14-20 now. I think they lost today too, but I think it was Boston College and Miami. They were in overtime last time I checked. I'm not sure what happened with that game, but Boston College not good this year. So Wake Forest only has one quad 1 win. They're 23-9, but they have one good win. So teams like that have lost. You want to root for Wyoming to lose next in the Mountain West. You want Davison to win that. You want Davison to win the A10. There are things that you need to still want to happen, but I think there are several teams behind Michigan on that chopping block first before them.
There's one guy, but Andy Katz alluded to his bias is recency bias, and especially big wins, like big margins of victory. Michigan has those, and they are a tournament team the last however many games, since the COVID break. They're definitely a tournament team. Yeah. But are you going to look back at the Seton Halls? You're going to look back at just the terrible start, getting destroyed by top teams. I mean, what do you? I don't know what the history is of teams like this, but it's a weak bubble. They look good. Michigan gets a lot of attention, and whether or not it's right, they get a lot of attention. When they do well, it's put out there and people see it. And I think that might help them out with the committee, whoever the hell that is.
Whoever is the committee, that's all we know.
Yeah. It's Illuminati.
Yeah, so like so they're 17 and 14. I believe in non-COVID years, I believe this would be the second, if they were to be picked, that would be like the second team with like 3 games or less over 500 to make it.
And it's their
So they're
strength of
17 and
schedule,
14.
no?
Yeah, their non-conference strength of schedule is pretty good. I believe it's top 25, which is no, is it? I believe it's top 25 based off of KenPom, I want to say, which is pretty good. And they're sitting there in the low 30s on the net. And so like I'm not, the 17 and 14 part is the part that kind of like comes back at you, right?
Yeah.
Like if they end up losing that Ohio State game, they're 16 and 15 right now. Looks a lot different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Looks a lot different. And where would they be then? So you're going to tell me that if they like, is the Ohio State the difference between being number 2 seed in the NIT and 11 seed in the NCAA tournament? You know, that seems kind of weird to jump that much, right?
Right.
But the optics of the record sucks, and not having that Purdue Fort Wayne game, right, that got canceled and never made up, sucks as well. Like honestly, they don't play here for the next few days. I will try to schedule that game or schedule somebody. Yes, you can. Yes,
really?
you can. Yes, you can. I will try to schedule someone.
Huh.
And get that 18th win.
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess because I always just view the schedule as a schedule. It's concrete, never changes. And it's been set in stone for years. But like, yeah, that would be.
I don't know if they could do it while the Big Ten tournament is playing. That's the only thing with that rule. But I have seen teams play their tournament and then they played like a game between their tournament and the NCAAs because they haven't reached their non-conference maximum game.
Like mid-majors, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I've seen mid-majors do it.
Huh. I've never even witnessed that before. That would be interesting.
I'm going to tweet about that here.
Yeah. Put it out there.
Yeah. Like, hey,
watch it happen.
Hey, well, what are the rules on this? Because I've seen this happen before with low major and mid-major conferences. Is there a rule saying that Michigan can't go out and play X team on Thursday?
Right.
No, X team on like Saturday.
Right.
Just play them on a neutral or go there, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're already close to Purdue Fort Wayne, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. Just freaking drive. Purdue Fort Wayne is pretty good this year though. They were like 20 and 10, not very high on the net, but they're around 20 and 10, somewhere around there.
I mean, I remember when we like, that's why it was confusing for me the last few weeks. Like they were talking about like Michigan's in, and we were always talking about you got to hit 20, have to hit the magic number of 20. And I think this team's different in the whole year and how you evaluate things. But I was like, if you don't get 20 every year, you got to win that Big Ten tournament game, get 20, and then you're good.
Also, because Beeline was very tactical the way that he scheduled his.
Yeah, it was very different.
Like, do you think Beeline is gonna do a home and home with UCF?
No.
Ain't no way.
No.
No way.
No, you do it with Kansas.
No way.
You do it with Kansas, and then you're picking up. I mean, we played Michigan Tech every year.
Yeah, like Michigan Tech was like the exhibition, and then you got like 2 super cakes, and then it was like he either got these teams or they got these teams. None of these little in between teams. Like he straight up said, like we're not going to schedule Oakland.
Yeah. You know? After that, they were done, right?
Yeah, they're like this game does nothing for me.
No, and it's the most motivated. This is all
campy to this day. Bro.
It's the most motivated, like that Oakland is all year.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, I'm not playing them,
dude. They were some dogs, but they talk shit like oddly. I don't know. I remember Travis Bader was real cocky, and I was like, what's going on here? I don't even know if these guys are good, but they're like acting like we suck.
Yo, relax, bro. You're in Rochester. Look, just because you got a Chick-fil-A doesn't mean doesn't mean that you can just talk to me any type of way, dog.
Dude, we played them at the Palace in Auburn Hills, and it was like
I was courtside at that game.
just the worst atmosphere. It's like, are we even in an NBA arena? Like, what is this game right now? It was weird. We killed them.
Ridiculous.
They sucked. And we're like we're wasting our time traveling to Auburn Hills to beat Oakland by 20 or whatever it was.
Because Tim was there and you were playing Lavelle.
We were playing Lavelle. Yeah. Oh
yes.
God.
Yes. I went and hung out and like not hung out, but like I went and saw your mom like right after. I gave her a big hug.
Yeah.
I remember that game.
Dude, you'll love this story. Okay. So you were big, a crucial part of my mental health that year that Lavelle got to start playing. I think what was like December or January. So we played Oakland. We played at Palace at Auburn Hills, and we played Oakland. And I mean, Lavelle was just torching the nets. We had that like small rim that they would put on top of the rim. Yeah, it was like a fairgrounds rim, and he was still making it. Like he could not miss in practice, right? And the coaches are salivating. Well, the first game he gets to come back is that Oakland game at the Palace. Yeah. And
wasn't that the game he like cracked my skull? He cracked my skull at that previous practice.
Yeah, I think yes. Yeah,
because I was like on the court bleeding out like all over the place.
Yeah, because you were wearing a headband for a while, weren't you?
You said what?
You were wearing
I was out for a minute.
Yeah.
And people were like, it sucks. He's not even getting out of his clothes. I'm like, yo, I have a concussion. Relax.
Dude, it was cracked.
Yes. Literally. I still got the scar, bro.
Dude, it was like Novak has the picture, but like yours was the same, if not worse. It was worse.
It was way worse.
Yeah.
They had to jump up and down on the court to get the blood out from the because it was in between. It was like I think it was Tom Wyrot was out there and BT was out there, I think, jumping up and down trying to get the blood to come out the wood. And...
I didn't know that part. That's hilarious.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. So Lavelle comes back. It's his first game. Everyone's hyped up. They're like, kid from Arizona, and he's been killing it in practice, yada, yada, yada. Everyone's excited. I come out that game against Oakland, and I hit 4 threes in the first 6-7 minutes. I mean, bam, 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 bam. Like on fire. I get taken out, right? And I'm like, okay, fine. Like, I get it. Like, I'm the one to come out, I guess.
Yeah.
Still weird. Lavelle comes in and he hits his first few threes. And like, I hit like maybe 1 or 2 more after that. I don't really remember, but I remember like, okay, everyone wants Lavelle to start, but like I proved that like I got this. Nope, Lavelle started the next game, automatic. And I was down. I was down about it. And you're my locker mate, and you're like, dude, he was gonna start if you scored 40. Like it doesn't matter. Like just keep going. And then at the end of the year, I started again. Like it all went full circle. Like you just keep chipping away at it, keep doing you, and you'll be fine. And I was like, you told me that like right away. It was like next day or the day after that, 2 days later, after that game, and we like come and film like, yeah, Lavelle's gonna start. And you reminded me of that, and I was like, all right, head down, keep going. So I appreciate that from you.
Hey, not a problem, man. Not a problem. You could just see things happen. You know, things happen politically at all levels.
Oh yeah,
including college. I'm like, look, bro, he's gonna have to start him. Just let the honeymoon get over with.
Yeah.
You're right.
Hey, I don't blame him. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a guy practice like hit that many shots in practice.
Yo, he used to cook. Dog, him and Esso.
Good luck.
Good luck.
And then J Bart would like throw in some threes, and we're like, what's going on right now?
Oh man. And then they used to let the GH practice. So like Pat was in there just giving us the work just from like 40, just
and Beeline loved it because it's any opportunity to critique us, and it's like, gosh,
exactly. But yo, him and Esso, bro. Oh,
Esso was. I always thought Esso could have actually played some.
Yo, Esso, bro. People tell me, they always ask me like, hey, who's someone who like you knew who went Division I who really didn't get a shot? I go Esso Akune. Like the dude was an absolute beast, bro.
Yeah,
absolute beast. And he didn't get any run.
No, and Beeline's a rotations guy, right? So it's never like all right, put Esso in, let it give him 5 possessions, and like give him that role. It's always like you're gonna work into a role that I am gonna define for you, that was early on when we had like less talented guys.
Yeah.
So like that, so he just got caught up in a wrong time, wrong place, basically.
Wrong time, wrong place. Because then like Tim came in, then Trey came in, and then it was just all downhill.
Yeah,
but I mean, Esso was that dude, man. Esso was definitely
no 1-on-1. He was cooking everybody.
It was over. It was
all right,
6'3", like 215.
Dude, he was huge. That spin move,
man. That spin move, and he was explosive.
Oh yeah,
he hit you with that first step. He used to have that like guard handout, so you could never like steal the ball.
No, never. No, it was Khalid El-Amin, dude. He was Khalid El-Amin.
Yes, dog. Him in the Big East. Oh man.
Oh, he would have played.
He would have played for sure. Like Xavier or something.
Somewhere. You just throw him in. They're like, you got talent, go. Get in there. Hurry up.
Go ahead. Against Cincinnati, just punching somebody and knocking somebody out.
Yeah.
F you, Yancey Gates. F you, SO.
Oh man. Okay, so what really bothers me about this loss is like they got shook obviously at the end. And I thought maybe if they pulled it out, it would like shake off some nerves a little bit and they could get into a groove of their postseason offense. Yeah. They still have that capability because trying to predict what this team is going to do in any situation is like, good luck. Yeah. But I think, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Devontae, I think will be fine, but you know, they showed they're again, like, all right, we need these defined roles. And like, we gotta play within a certain system, certain way.
Yeah. But then like, that's like Juwan's wants like the freedom and the positionless, but the issue is he doesn't have those type of players.
No,
you know, like he doesn't have the type of players to be free and be positionless. And
right,
you know, right now their best offense is Devontae being aggressive, Devontae calling the shots and getting the ball to Hunter on either block, letting the other team let him go ISO and he just eats. Or they let the other team trap and you play out of it 4-on-3 for 3 seconds and see what happens.
But, like Eli played 38 minutes. Devontae played 35, and part of that was coming out for his ankle, right?
Yeah.
Like I know people are dogging on, well, maybe it's just in my mentions because I've been instigating it, but like, you know, people are calling for Frankie to play more, and I think he should. I think he can get up to 12 minutes, but I mean, I don't know where the places are for guys to come in.
Should he play more? For sure. But when he went in, he went -7 in 1 minute.
And he's got 1 assist, 1 shot. Like when he came into that Michigan State game, granted, like they were rolling, they had some momentum, but he just went. And I know he's a freshman, he's young, and there's still like, you know, undefined roles there for him. But that's going to be like the SO, you got to come in and you got like 10, 20 possessions. Just go, dude, because we need you to spot guys for some rest, offensively, especially.
When they were turning over the ball, you know, I would not have minded if they went with Frankie over Brooks, because that would give you a second ball handler, someone else to help you execute. If Devontae was hurting, get him off the ball, then he could come off the 2-guard concepts where now he's getting the ball with leverage and making decisions. I thought that maybe would be a spot for him.
My thing with Eli playing 38 minutes, like I played 38 minutes and like Novak would play 38 minutes, but like we had very defined roles and we weren't, I mean, he would not let us go off the dribble, right? Like we weren't wasting our energy on offense. Right. And Trey and Tim weren't the greatest defenders. Let's put it that way. They, you know, so there was that balance there where we could play 5-6 guys. And I feel like 38 is a lot for Eli, especially at the end of a game where like you see these turnovers happened at Iowa and then again with IU. And, you know, fatigue is a real thing. I mean, you can talk about playing through it mentally, but it does not take much to just cross below that line where you just make a 1-inch mistake. It's really not much.
You could be right there and then you get caught up in a scrum, or you get caught up having to box someone who's your size or even bigger. That is going to put your gas tank from here to here.
It runs out even more at the end. Yeah.
And then it's like not even just your wind, like it's your it's your arms, it's your legs. It's like you start hurting in spots that you didn't even know existed, right? And like the full timeouts, they don't really help. They kind of like they.
No, that lactic acid is not going away in 60 seconds.
It's not going anywhere, bro. It's really not.
Yeah,
it's really not. And you were in incredible shape too. Like
you're still dog tired. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, bro. It does not matter.
I mean, even I mean, maybe Aaron Kraft is about one of the only guys I've seen that just didn't stop. Okay.
Yeah.
But to tell your player, hey, go be Aaron Kraft. Good luck with that.
It's like, yo, I'm not built for that, bro.
Everyone, I hate when people do that. They're like, be more like so-and-so. And I'm like, that guy's got a combination of 30 things that I can't do it. Like, it's not just one thing. Everyone always wants to point to like, this player does one thing and that's why he's great. And it's like, no, it's 40 things. There's 40 different reasons physically why he does things better than other people. Like, everyone's different in so many ways.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm getting I've instigated it. All right. With the Devontae stuff. I came out and said, can we end the Devontae hate? It got 1,000 likes and a bunch of hate tweets at me. And I'm like, I haven't had this much interaction in a long time on Twitter. But I just had someone come to me again. And everyone's hot and cold on Devontae. And I won't read the whole tweet, but he goes, dude literally sabotaged our entire season. Big Ten is too big for Devontae Jones. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't want to like give credit. I don't want to give credit to like emotional tweets that with no logic behind it, no like real logic.
Those are the best ones to respond to.
Yeah, well, I'm not responding. I mean, the best ones to have fun with. But like, I don't understand how people can't see that he controls the game.
Yeah, he's in my opinion the second most important player on this team.
I think easily, and I think it's a lot of things that you can't see, even though you're watching him with the ball. Like, people don't understand how much it is to control a game for 35 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, and like he does so many little things too, even on the defensive end. Like, well, maybe he does gamble some, but he takes away so many possessions just by getting in the way. And what happened today, like, really wasn't on him. Other guys got to be able to step up. Hunter only had like 2 or 3 shots in the second half.
It's crazy.
Unreal. But people are going to look for the scapegoat, and the scapegoat is all year has been Devontae Jones. Devontae Jones this, Devontae Jones that.
Especially a senior guy.
Yeah, and I've said this multiple times, and people, and I'm trying to get people like realize. I'm like, look, how good is last year's team if you put Devontae Jones around, like, with those dudes around him? Like, you put Franz and Livers and Brooks and that Hunter and Shondi around Devontae. Like, how good is that team?
You see,
people want to say Mike Smith this and that. I was like, you know what? Mike Smith was playing with legit pros. I'm not talking about dudes who may be pros in a couple years. I'm talking about dudes who ended up being like a top 5 rookie this year. And another one who's with the Pistons who had like 3 threes the other night. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, it's legit. That's not taken away from Mike. I want to be very clear.
At all.
But you see when like Michigan started to hit shots and they started to get a little more better spacing, like what Devontae does. And
he creates all that. People
all
don't
of it.
Get it. Like, he creates all of it because none of that happens without him. And controlling tempo and understanding when to go, when not to, understanding when to pass it up, understanding who's open. And he's like, maybe I can't get it to him, but he can, and I'm gonna hit him. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know, bro. People already don't understand basketball. Right. But when they don't understand basketball and then are emotional, like, you just get like the worst types of messages and tweets and all that stuff.
It's just so much more nuanced. Like, even his turnovers, like you said, with the ankle and playing those minutes, and like, it's so much more nuanced. Like, yeah, were those bad? Was Iowa bad? For sure. There's no excuse for that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some reasoning behind it, but like, yeah, he can be better, but why are we focusing in on just the bad things? I think it is like, Eli is a super senior. He's been unbelievable. And like, he's going to do no wrong in the eyes of Michigan fans. And I'm fine with that. That's great.
Yeah.
But Devontae just stepped right into being the scapegoat. And like, they've gone away from Caleb's the problem, or Musa doing something, or, you know, Hunter maybe not being aggressive at certain times, whatever. He just steps right into it because we always look to seniors. We always look to the older guys, and he has the ball in his hands, and Eli is not going to get criticized. So it's like, bam, perfect combination, perfect
done deal.
Catch stuff.
Done deal. And then like Frankie comes in and makes like one good move.
Yeah.
It's like, why isn't he playing 30,000 minutes per game?
Yeah.
Ah!
No,
then,
I just hope that Devontae doesn't see that in case he wants to come back next year, because he can do that, right?
Yes, he can. Yes.
So I think
I'm pretty sure he sees it all, you know.
I mean, I'm sure he does. But
I mean, like, we saw it. I remember we had to run 30 laps. No, we had played Wisconsin and lost, and then he made us run, was like 26 suicides.
Maybe
remember we
less.
like ran like it was basically like 30 suicides.
The TV
and
practice.
Then we went to study table, and then someone like was coming after you on Facebook.
Yeah,
I mean, I joined it, and that was Facebook, bro.
Yeah, we're like, you don't do that. Well, you kind of did more back then, but
yeah, but like it's nothing like it is now. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
We had,
like, I didn't Facebook doing that, so yeah, they see it all.
I didn't have Twitter till I think junior year or something, and it was funny. By then, I had enough confidence where I'm like, these guys don't know what they're talking about. So it was always fun, like these kids, and it was always men who are like between 18 and 30, and when it wasn't, that was even funnier. But anyways, they would tweet at me and like, you know, it's at 10 p.m. So, you know, they watched the game, they've been drinking, and they're tweeting some stuff. And so then I tweet like very understanding stuff like, well, I mean, I don't really agree with you, but yada, 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 try and be like nuanced. And then the next day, like clockwork, apologies and appreciation. And it's like, dude, this stuff is so fun. It's so easy to like read through the emotions. And then when people like want to like say it to your face, and it's like, okay, like you're not that tough, and you're really not as serious as you think.
Right. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy,
buddy. You're not that guy.
No, and those guys who like were relentless with it were even funnier. And I was like, this guy's psychotic, and it's even funnier.
It's like, yo, this guy just has problems. Dog.
Yeah, this guy just has problems. He has serious problems.
Man, just serious issues, man. But it's you know, like this, you know what? We haven't even mentioned this yet, but this loss, just like the can of worms was already open, but now it's like they opened up the whole roof, the whole Juwan thing.
Yep.
Martelli.
Yep.
And all of that. I'm like, oh brother, like, you know, some people do it for the jokes, just for the reaction, but other people like are legit about it. And I'm just like, Martelli literally came out and says, I don't know the plays. I don't know what's going on. It's all Isley and Sadi and whatever they say they're going to do. And I'm just sitting here just overseeing things. And just
he was being a football coach.
Right. He was just chilling, just making sure everything was okay, you know?
Managing it, yeah.
Just chilling. Oh, man. But then, like, that whole narrative is going, and, you know, now other teams from the Big Ten, because Juwan smacked somebody, now he's going to be like, oh, man, if we can get a joke in, it's going to do numbers because people don't like him. And
yeah.
I'm like, and he got booed today. He got booed today by all the Indiana fans. I'm like,
dude, all my stuck up, like, Indiana people where Bob Knight and Gene Cady reigned supreme for so long, which is hilarious, by the way. It's okay to choke your player, but don't hit an opposing coach. Okay, cool. But like so many stuck up, like uptight dudes being like, that's not right. That's not right. And it's like, I don't know. It's just, I'm not going to go into it, but it's just not far off from like the tough, like, okay, you'll watch a football coach headbutt his player with the helmet on, and like that's tough, and it's like that line is not, it's not far off, like
right. It's like, what do we like
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that part, but yeah,
I'm not going to.
The narratives are something. I mean, he just got to live with it. He's got to figure out how to get that thick skin.
He's got to win. He's
just, yeah. He's got to win, and unfortunately win pretty graciously now, which I don't think he always liked to do because they were more brash and that was fun. And I think that's like what he finds fun. So it's going to be interesting. He's got to watch some Beeline clips, some Beeline media clips.
Yeah, we had subs. You know, you gotta come off like Mr. Rogers, right?
Yeah,
but like that's like far from the truth. But you got to come off like it.
Yeah. All right. So before we get out of here, looking forward with this team. It seems pretty obvious what they're good at, what they're not good at, when they get in trouble. Going into the tournament, though, I do believe they can shock some people and get to a Sweet 16. Like they have that capability. They have that type of offense, and they're still adjusting. Every day I think they learn those rotations better. Like it's awesome to watch the young guys be in the right spot and anticipate being in the right spot. Like I'm like, damn, they're getting it. So they can be dangerous. But what do they have to do? Just go back to just be consistent with what they were good at, or there's some things like they need to focus on?
I mean, first of all, seeds matter. And
it's amazing. Like who you play is everything.
Who you play is amazing.
Everything.
Stu, you've seen you've been on both spectrums. Like you've been in a 7-10, you've been in an 8-9. You've also been into the 13-4.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, you've been into right.
Best 13 seed ever.
Yeah. DJ Cooper.
Unbelievable.
Mr. Pregnant. Mr. Pregnant.
Forgot about that.
Okay, if they don't know the story, so DJ Cooper was overseas a couple years ago, and he had a drug test, and he had his girl do the drug test for him, and they came back and said that you're pregnant. So that's how he found out that
not only is your life upended because you're pregnant, but also you're suspended like indefinitely.
Like,
they do not mess around with it, dude. It's not 2 games.
See Brittany Griner, dog. Brittany Griner's she's in jail for that.
Yeah. No, they don't play games, dude. You're done. Like you're done for a bit.
So like you've seen every spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Where we're in the 7-10, we beat Clemson. Who we get? Yeah, we get Blake Griffin. And then 8-9 game, Tennessee, the Stu Dunk. What's your prize? Kyrie Irving and Duke. You want to get out of that 7-10, 8-9 game. This loss puts them on that 11-12 line, right?
Yeah.
If that was us in 2009, we play probably like Syracuse first, right? Then we play like a 3, whoever that was.
Yeah.
And that's a lot better than having to go up against a dude who's about to go top 5 in the NBA draft that summer.
Oh my God. It's funny. Like you're like, well, 11, you want to be, give us an 11. I was like, no, go to 12. Go to 12. Yes. You want 12. 12 is great.
12 and 12. 12 is awesome.
12 is great. I think they can beat, what is it, a 5?
Yeah, 12-5 and
12-5.
It's 11-6.
11-6. I think those are 2 great scenarios. I mean, 12, like, yeah, that gets a little sketchier because then you got some really good teams. But to be dangerous and like the best chance to get into a Sweet 16, like, yeah.
I mean, like how mad would you be if they got St. Mary's first? Like Houston has been kind of fluky this year.
Yeah.
You would take a UConn. You would take Texas. Alabama and LSU have been pretty this year.
Yeah.
Who else is in that? Like those type of teams, are not scary at all whatsoever.
No.
Like USC, maybe that's not a scary team. And then you'll win that. Then you move up to the 3 and the 4 seeds. Like, are you like you get Tennessee, Texas Tech, you get UCLA, you get how good would like a Providence game be? Like that would be a nice one. You get Arkansas, you get beatable teams.
Yes.
And then when you're in the Sweet 16, then you're gonna have to face off those 1s and 2s if they get by their 8-9s and 7-10 games.
Right.
So I think there's way more possibilities at 11 and 12 than there are at 7, 8, 9, and 10.
I mean, it seems, last year was nutty, right? Like up until the guaranteed championship, like obvious, it was like all year they were talking about it and it came to fruition. Like, oh yeah, duh. But but from 3 to whatever it was
you had Oregon State, bro. Oregon State in the Elite Eight.
It's wild.
They were not good last year.
No,
they were not good. They won 3 games this year. 3. 1, 2, 3.
Dude, I was watching them last night or like a few nights ago at like 11 p.m. and I'm like, what the hell am I watching right now? What is this?
I watched them versus Washington State. There were probably 9 people in the gym.
That was a game I was watching. Yeah,
including both teams.
Like, what?
Like, yo, what is going on, bro? Like, dude, why is this on my TV right now? Put on Pool or something.
Pac-12 is bizarre. Since our time, it's just been bizarre.
Gosh,
I don't get it, man.
Ridiculous.
That's
ridiculous. That's right. Ridiculous. The WCC is ridiculous. Like, who wants to watch Santa Clara versus like Portland at like 3 o'clock in the morning?
I mean, who they got? St. Mary's, Kempom's got San Francisco 21. Like, I don't even, who knows? I don't even know what these teams are about.
Yeah. I mean, like St. Mary's, they played Gonzaga tough because Randy Bennett's a good freaking coach.
Yeah.
Randy Bennett's a good coach, and he's played against Mark Few like every year for the last like 1,000 years, it feels like.
Yeah.
So he was there with Dellavedova and Patty Mills. Remember like Sam Hand? Remember Sam Hand?
Yeah.
Omar Sam. Yo, like,
yeah. Like, oh my God, he was amazing.
Yeah, that dude was a beast, bro.
Bald head. There's something to be said about going outside your conference and game planning and you being so comfortable. And I think that's what hurts the Big Ten all the time. And you're just so used to it. And then you get like just a little bit out of your comfort zone and you start questioning what you're doing in the game plan. And you're like, do I need to help off this guy? Because I've only seen him one time and it's been on video and like, that's it. So you like not comfortable with players. It's very bizarre. Like, think weird stuff happens because of that.
I think so too. And a lot of the Big Ten teams are pretty similar. And I don't think it always used to be like that. I think there were more different styles. Like you had JB, you had like JB, right? And then you had Carmody, who were kind of similar, but very, very different on but NBA concepts type of deal. And then you had Wisconsin with their swing, super slow.
They were super different.
And then you had Purdue.
And
Purdue got after you 94 feet, right? Yeah. And they deny. And then Ohio State, they had like that matchup zone that you had to play against. I think the different styles back then helped teams when they got to the NCAA tournament. Like, there's a reason why Tom Izzo went to so many Final Fours. They saw so many different types of teams throughout the year, even in conference play. No matter who they played against, when it came time for the NCAA tournament, they had seen it or something like it, right? Why does an Illinois team last year look completely lost against Loyola Chicago team who runs Princeton? Well, because Illinois plays like 2 or 3 true freshmen, and they haven't played against a Princeton offense all year long. No wonder they were down 14 to start the dang game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like there's reasoning behind that. In Michigan's team last year, I felt they could win in so many different ways, even without Isaiah. That's why they were able to make some sort of run. But I think this year, like, I believe that's like there is more like I can't wait to see what Purdue does, honestly. Because in the non-conference, they were unstoppable. I can't wait to see, hopefully Michigan gets in, but that's going to be interesting because they can also kind of adjust the way that they play, because they don't have to have Hunter in the whole time. If they match up better with Musa and Brandon or Musa and T. Will at the 4, I think there's a little bit more differences this year than in previous years. So hopefully that helps. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Should be interesting.
it's
Should be
interesting.
fun.
There's junk teams like that, like running Princeton offense. It does seem like, especially back then, when Izzo was making those runs, and in 10 years ago, you didn't see as much film of other teams. And like now, like when we were in college, we really started to pay, like the coach started to pay attention to what they were doing in Europe. They were looking at European ball screens. Like we had a Spain action that and it literally was called Spain. It's called Spain around the world. And like
Yeah.
it's everything is starting to morph together. And like Beeline never ran ball screen stuff. And we got Darius Morris, and it was like, okay, we're a ball screen team now. And then everyone, you got to be able to run pick and roll. You got to be able to run pick and roll. And now I think it's like it like weaves in and out of like, okay, this works for other teams, so we're going to try it. And then like, okay, well, we got some other concepts, and then we're going to go back to what other teams doing well. And we got some. And so you're like picking and choosing, but like slowly but surely, we can see so many teams now and so many different styles that like it's starting to like ironically just morph to like
Morph all the same.
Yeah.
Bellarmine. Have you seen Bellarmine play?
I only a little bit, and I heard the ridiculous situation.
Yeah, so like they run an offense that there's no pick and roll. If there's a screen, it's just because I'm there and I'm just going to set one. But they run an offense just based off cutting and driving, no ball screens.
It seems wild to you. I don't even know how to, it's like playing at the Y maybe. But even then after 10 seconds, you're like, I don't know what to do. Come set me a screen, It's like,
exactly.
It's such a wild offense to guard because nobody does it.
Nobody does it. If you're that one quirky, that's why I kind of like, I can't wait to see Iowa's draw. Because that's a quirky team. When Rabracha, whatever his name is, when he comes out and they play with the two Murrays and McCaffrey.
Yeah, they can
like you're playing three small forwards and two guards.
It's unorthodox. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yep.
You can come out there with your 6'10" center if you want to. He's going to get cooked for the next 40 minutes.
Yeah, he better be. Yeah, exactly. Matchups again, just matchups. It'll be interesting to see
matchups.
Sunday what's going down. But that was good. I'm sure we'll talk again, Ant. I appreciate you coming on. Again, Michigan, you just don't know. But I have faith. Like I really do feel like they could scare some people, even though people are frustrated. Like they got that recipe to just be like, how did that happen again? Like why did we just lose to them? Because they're there. It's the talent's there. It's the proof is that they can do it. They've shown that, but you just never know. So it'll be fun.